we have chosen the panel where all these stakeholders are with me today. I request Mr. Khan, who is the principal of KK High School. You know, way back in 98 or 2000, when my first conference was done, you know, he saw the outcome of the conference in Times of India. Seeing that article with a lot of hesitation, he walked into my office thinking that IIScians don't allow the others to enter the campus. But when he met me, he was completely felt that, okay, IISc allows the people to this. And from that time onwards, my journey started 2 decades now. So we have been able to communicate what we have learned and what resources we have used in the thing. We have tried to give it to the children in rural area. Okay, Mr. Khan, please come to the dais. So we have Ramaraju, the person who did his PhD in a Kolar drought-prone region where he highlighted the fluoride contamination, etc. in the region. And now he is the Vice Principal of the Anand College of Engineering. Today he is with us. He is representing how the academician can do the job to conserve the environment. Yeah. Then of course, role of the entrepreneurs are there in the system. We have Mr. Kulkarni here, who has been instrumental in treating the reuse of wastewater in the system through the nature-based solutions, etc. So, Mr. Kulkarni, he is from an NGO called Bhagirath. So, then we have with us Annapurna Kamath. She is from Jakkur. The Jakkur Lake, you know the story what I told about Jakkur Lake. If it has got popular, it's because of this kind of the people who are actually behind it. You know, had she not alerted me when there is something is going wrong, staying 7 kilometers away, I wouldn't have intervened in the system. That's what these local people did. That's what many people in Bangalore do. In fact, I am more popular among the common man in Bangalore than people in IISc. Some people don't even know who I am, but still that is okay. But suddenly the common man like Annapurna, Mr. Khan and all know about our work. Now we will start our journey, and I think the theme of I think I have done that, no, already? Okay. Now, I said there is a water crisis. What are the sustainable solutions? Now what I will do is, I will start from Annapurna to talk about how the people, how to activate the system so that we will have more and more Annapurna Kamath in the system. He is a Dr. Annapurna Kamath. So in the system, so that we can make that all lakes in Bangalore will have the clean water. You know, that's what our vision is. So maybe you can, the mic is working?
And it's my pleasure to be here today and speaking about a very important thing to us, water. And like Dr. TVR told just now, you know, I'm here to speak from a very common man's point of view as a citizen, because I, you know, belong to Jalposhan, which is a community initiative in Jakkur Lake. This is about the community coming together, and it's about stakeholder partnership and citizen participation in conservation. So it's been a decade-long journey for us as a community initiative. We've been working with Jakkur Lake and conservation with support from a lot of scientific fraternity and you know, a lot of expert you know, interactions and guidance. And here, you know, in this particular scenario of water crisis, I would like to say that lakes play a very important role, because lakes are, you know, I mean, the main kind of realization happened to me when Jal Shakti Abhiyan, I had come for a visit to our lake, and they told us that Bangalore, unfortunately, was one of the 256 water stressed districts of the whole of the country, India. And it was a surprise, like we never thought that Bangalore would be in that list. And they said that we're looking at solutions, and the visit to the lake was with that purpose. And they said we had 5, you know, kind of aims from Jal Shakti Abhiyan for water resilience. And the first one was traditional water body conservation, you know, which Jakkur Lake is. You know, it is about a 730 years old lake. So it is a traditional and a very cultural heritage of Bengaluru. And then the second objective was grey water treatment, which is also happening at Jakkur. We have an STP and we treat water from upstreams, and we are providing that for ecological services there, which is being managed by BWSSB. And then the third was groundwater recharge, and Bangalore University has done a paper on the Jakkur Lake recharging about 7 million liters per day of water, and Proof also is in the open wells and the bore wells in and around, where we get a good yield, and commercially it is being exploited now because there is good yield of water. And one more thing was about rainwater harvesting, and all of us know lakes are rainwater harvesting structures, and afforestation. We are very proud to be one of the top 10 biodiversity hotspots of Bengaluru, because we have both flora and fauna and diverse species at Jakkur. So this was an eye-opener for us, that a lake can be the solution for water resilience. So whatever we're looking at water stress, the simple solution was protect the lakes. And that's all we had to do. And Bangalore, like Sir said, it had 1,452. Today we are struggling with some 160. The BBMP was telling me the other day, out of which 19 are almost like declared dead, and the remaining are struggling for survival. And at this point, I would say, if a community comes together and says, this is our job too, it's not only the bureaucracy which has to take care, it's our job too, because all of us are aware of our fundamental rights. We always would like to fight for good water, air and all, and we say it's a fundamental right, we should enjoy it. But we forget our fundamental duty, to participate in that and say, if we do our fundamental duty of protecting our lakes and forests, obviously our fundamental rights will be automatically addressed. We don't have to fight for them. That is the vision with which we started this group. Today we are very happy because we have spread across to a 10-kilometer radius. We have a lot of institutes participating right from kindergarten to university. We have a lot of scientific organization, IEESc, we have A-Tree, NCBS, Biome, GKVK, so many of them helping us with the various aspects of the lake to scientifically conserve and preserve this lake. So it also is a beautiful interface of community, how a lot of people, that is the resources in the community itself, can come back and work together, with a kind of a converging vision, so all of us are doing that. So it's a good stakeholder partnership and a citizen participation model. And we also, we're happy, I'm also happy to share this, that even Jal Shakti Abhiyan, the ministry recognized this as a model at a national level, and we were awarded the National Water Mission Award in 2019, because they felt this was a model that can be replicated, like even the wetlands and the sewage treatment, attached to it. Even Delhi, for some reason, had also replicated it. Like the Jal Board, the CEO was, visiting the lake, and they have replicated some of these models, which also are part of, it was the first of its kind in Jakkur, but now it is part of many lakes in Bengaluru and across the state also. So what I want to share with you is, in my decade-long journey with Jakkur Lake as a community participation model, I have felt that if that is a little bit we can do, right, for our own sake, because water is something we cannot live without. And today, as a individual, for my own survival, I need water. And as a parent, I would say, how much ever money I leave for my children, or how much ever education I give them, they cannot still survive without water and oxygen. So it is my responsibility to leave back a good natural resource for them, and that is what we normally discuss with the community, saying that it is a basic thing that you can do. It is not like you're doing a human service to the community. It's a basic fundamental duty that you're doing. So we have been fortunate to have a wonderful community at Jakkur. We have a lot of people participating in this initiative, and that's how it has grown to be a model community participation model also. And we have a lot of people coming, visiting to replicate this across the city. So we have a lot of citizen groups which have been initiated, inspired by this model and motivated by this model. And that is, what I would like to share, that it is doable and it has to be done. Where the community has a will, we can conserve water, and we can have water in our borewells, and we don't have to worry about a water crisis. If we take that little time, it may be even 1 hour a month is also good enough to come together as a community and say, I will protect and preserve my, community lake. That is the, little bit of information that I wanted to share with you.
Okay, thank you. It's not just the people, even we get the migratory bird, any point of the thing you can see the beautiful painted storks and pelicans and all those birds in that region. So they also come. Of course, when the birds come, it indicates the quality of the ecosystem. I would say the success was mainly because of the active participation of the local people. There are many people who are actually doing this job. Annapurna, there are some journalists. Whenever we raise a concern, immediately it is publicized. That's why the government wakes up. The one day they wanted to divert one big the sewage channel to this place. Thanks to the local people. When they alerted, when I visited, the media also came and they said that it cannot happen like this. Then immediately the government came up with a proposal to treat the sewage treatment, and she told me just few minutes back, there are a couple of treatment plants are coming up. That means when we raise voice, there is a hope in the system. If you don't raise your voice, then you cannot see any success in the system. And second thing, as many of you are students here, you know, the importance of publication is also you should understand. Chakkur was an unknown experiment till we published it. When we published, today it has become a global entity and everyone comes from many countries and all those things. That is because of the publications. You know, some people call it as IISc Day, some call it as the IISc model and all those things. So my urge is that when you do something like this, please also publish so that you will also become popular. And certainly when you have done a good job, you will become popular, okay? Otherwise, popularity, the citation index for a few hundred you will get and you will be very happy with that. But this citation index, you will cross many millions. You know, when people show the smile on the face, it crosses many millions citations. So that's what I see with the people. Now it's the time for academician, my friend Dr. Professor Ram Raju, he started his journey in Kolar. Fluoride. Now my worry is that Bangalore, we are going deeper and deeper in such a water. See, when you go such deep, the geological data has the trace elements, you know, fluoride, arsenic, etc. We are getting that contamination. So then now with this probably he will highlight further on what is to be done to see that Bangalore become a sustainable city, and the same model can be replicated because the same kind of people are there in all the cities. I have worked in Chennai, Hyderabad, and people are not different. When I say people, bureaucracy is not different. So that is the problem, and people are similar like us. Okay? Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dear friends, I thank the team for giving me an opportunity. But when Dr. TVR has already spoken, he has delivered a very good talk also. There is, because whatever we talk, just we'll extract the words from his, whatever the things he has already highlighted. Only that point we have to paint it further, that is all. Sir, you have already spoken everything. You have given nothing for us to talk anyway. But when you are united, it is our duty to just share some news and all. Friends, just I would like to take you back to the whole history. If you go back to the history, starting from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನುಕುಲದ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗಿದ್ದು ನದಿಯ ತೀರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ದಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಕಾರಣ ಶುದ್ಧವಾದಂಥ ಸಮೃದ್ಧವಾದ ನೀರು ಆಗ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇರಳವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. If you go back to the history, civilizations were started along the banks of river where good quality and quantity of water was available. Nowadays, no, we don't want to stay nearby a river or lake, whatever it may be. No, I don't want to be there. The bad smell. Who is responsible for that? All man-made activities, what we call as anthropogenic activities. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮನ ಕಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ 1950ರಲ್ಲಿ 1950s ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮನ ಕಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಮಾತುಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, that really reflects us how exactly all these things have created. ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿ.ವಿ.ಜಿ. ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ನವರತ ಮನುಜ ತಿದ್ದುತ್ತಿರುವಂತೆ ವಿಕೃತಗೊಳಿಸುವವನು ಆಕೆ ಎಂಗಗಳ ಭೂಕೃಷಿಕ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ ವಾಹನ ಯಂತ್ರಿ ವ್ಯಾಕೃತಿಸರೇನವಳ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಚೇಂಜ್ is a common phenomenon. As the society is developing and we are moving forward, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ನಿಯಮ. We have to. That is called ಹೊಸತನ. ಹೊಸತನವೇ ಬಾಳು, ಅಳಸಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸಾವು ಬಿಡು. ರಸವು ನವನವತಿಯಿಂದ ಅನುದಿನವೂ ಹೊಮ್ಮಿ ಹಸನೊಂದು ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಸರು ತೆರೆ ಬಾಳ್ ಚೆಲುವು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. These are the words which are just I lifted from ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮನ ಕಗ್ಗ, ಡಿ.ವಿ.ಜಿ. ಅವರ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿ.ವಿ. ಗುಂಡಪ್ಪವ್ರನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಮಾತುಗಳು. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 100 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಅಂತ
many students are from other part of the country.
Yes.
So if you can also tell the same thing,
what you said in English, fine.
Or even Hindi is also good.
Yes, sir. Anyway, if you go back to the history of Bangalore, just I will restrict myself to the Bangalore area as much as possible. 1894 94, almost 130 years back, the first water supply scheme which was started from Hesrughetta. 1884 Hesrughetta is the start ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡು. Again, it is moved to again ಆ ಕಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೇರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರು, ತೊರೆಗಡೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ again they brought the same thing to TG Hellige ಅಂತ ಹೋದ್ರು, ತಿಪ್ಪಣ್ಣಿ ಡ್ಯಾಮಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. From 1934 or 33 onwards, where they extracted water from there also. Of course, ಅದರಿಂದ 135 MLD ನೀರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು it was proceeded long history. Again, 1971, ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಇನ್ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ again, the Kaveri phase 1, 2, everything is started. Now Kaveri 4th phase, everything is over. Almost now, we are supplying 4,450 MLD of water to the Bangalore as a record, number one. At the same time, nearly 550 to 600 MLD of water is drawn from groundwater. They are drawing the groundwater. Government, Bangalore water supply, almost Greater Bangalore, if I take almost entire Greater Bangalore, covering 800 square kilometers, there are almost 36 wastewater sewage treatment plants, out of which some of them are working effectively, not working, though so many things are there. They are prediction that almost they are planning to treat 1,500 MLD of water, but out of which 850 MLD of water is used effectively. That is, we have to salute, because whatever the suggestions they have made earlier, and starting from our KNC Valley, our Rishwavati Valley, Hebbala water treatment plant, whatever you take the wastewater treatment plant are, now they are using the water effectively to some extent possible, that we have to appreciate. But to be frank, it is one of the first city, the town in the world, which is using almost 65 to 70% of the water is treated. The Bangalore is almost treating 850 MLD of water, but now the question is how effectively they are using. ಇನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸರ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೈಸೂರು ಸೀವೇಜ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ನೀರು ತಗೊಂಡು ಈಗ ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕಬಳ್ಳಾಪುರ ಕೋಲಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಂಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಬಟ್ it is the need of the hour. We have to treat the water effectively by using the available technologies. We have to use it. But how effectively the treatment is going on? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ರಿಂದ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅವರ್ environment of the community, environment of the students, environment all the people in the sector, which is what is the major, as you know, it is a life. Without that, we cannot do anything like that. Starting from use of, Madam already suggested, so use of lake water, which is very, very important. The first point is, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕೇಳೋದಿಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ if you go back to the history, 18th century ನಲ್ಲಿ 1,450 ನಮ್ಮ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. If you take the area of the 800 square meter ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, 1,450 ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದೇ ನಾವು 1970s ಬಂದಾಗ that has come down to almost 260 or something like that. ಈಗ ಹೋದಾಗ I think 130 or 140 is left out. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲ the thing is surrounding area, everything is encroached. I think they have to implement the IISc ವರದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. We have to appreciate him. He has prepared very well. I think for that sir has got so many years. I think he could have given the talk on that, because they have got very good data. How exactly the things are happened and all. ಆ ಡೇಟಾ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ರೋಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಎನ್ಕ್ರೋಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ದೇ occupied, our all encroached the lakes and all, the government should ban, should vacate those people at least 50 to 100 meters. ಈಗ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಬಫರ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಮೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಫೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿ, let them do it immediately now and desilt all our lakes. That's the first point. Desilt ಮಾಡಿ and input ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board, authorities, local authorities, they have to act effectively, whether the water is treated before entering into the drainage or anything like that. That has to plan. ಒಂದು ಬಫರ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ that should be treated properly, either biofilters or so many technologies are available now. Definitely, of course, Bengaluru already brought in Sarakinalli ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, the technology already adopted. Like that, technology should be used effectively. Government should implement it properly, because ಈ government anything you think the ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅಂತ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ತರ ನೋಡುತ್ತೆ, the technology fails ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಟೆಕ್ನೋಕ್ರಾಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್, ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓಡಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಫೈನಲಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಹೌ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. If it is not implemented properly, the failure takes place. One. Second point, let us come to our indiscriminate use of the groundwater. Of course, groundwater recharge is a must. In the same time, we are exploiting the water like anything. ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಫೋನ್ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಿ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನೀರು ತಗೋಬರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತಗೊಂಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Nobody tests the water quality of that water. But we want only the quantity of water at that time. We are worried about the quantity. Hey, ತಗೊಂಬಾರಪ್ಪ, ನನಗೆ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ just will start using it. We will not bother about how effectively the quality is. Here, the government should ban these people. They should take act on those things, whether that water is treated proper or what type of quality of water is supplying. Of course, when it is located nearby, what are the precautionary measures they have taken? So at the same time, they are all supplying the water as a treated water. Business ಅವರು board ಹಾಕಿ supply ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Nobody tests the water quality. That itself will become good steady if the people or students take up. The Bengaluru ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ all display bottles, water bottles, treated bottles ಏನು supply ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Let us test those things. How the water quality is, whether it's standards, BSI qualify ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ that itself is a big answer. But any foreigners to take, ಅಂತಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ we want water bottles ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ because they are assuming that is a safe water. But here we cannot break that one also. At the same time, indiscriminate ಅವರಿಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ should give the directions. Of course, ಒಂದು ಮೀಟರ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹಾಕಿಬಿಟ್ಟು should monitor those things. What is the type, how much water they are pumping or using or supplying to the public, whether the quality it is good or not. At the same time, if they have drilled the borewell other than that places, how effectively they have done, whether they have taken all the precautionary measures, it may be point recharge, something like that, oil point recharge ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ, that the government should monitor. That is very, very important. At the same time, reuse of the waste water, the third point again. How effectively the water? ಇವತ್ತು ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Almost 2,000 apartments they have a sewage treatment plants. But nobody is there to purchase that water. In sense, the government should prepare an app, something like that. Of course, treated water that can be supplied in the construction sector. Now, Bangalore Metro use water that we have to appreciate it, and that way use that we can use in our bus stations and all, washing of buses and all. At the same time, railway station use water, something like that. Effectively, water can be used in all those places. At the same time, government should ban if the construction activity is going up. Purchase the water from the nearby places. Up can be created easily, and the water can be supplied from those places only. They cannot use either the groundwater or the water from the BWSSP. That should be it should be implemented immediately. Then only the water can be saved. Another important. At the same time, here the people environmental protection conservation that is very important. Waste water, the money, whatever the water, specifically the suburban areas, peri-urban areas, when the houses develops, whatever the house they construct, immediately they will be having their septic tank, or they will supply they will just let it to the open drains, or somewhere that reaches the nearby nalla, river, or finally that leads to contamination. How effectively they are, that is very, very important, because here groundwater recharge, there are so many technologies, in sense how effectively they are working. It depends upon the hydrogeological conditions. All the time we cannot tell that go for recharge and all, but groundwater recharge, there are, depending upon the hydrogeological conditions, instead of some of the local areas where the loose soil is there, definitely they can go for community water harvesting. In a separate area, that can be connected separately. At the same time, the government also can act on providing permeable footpaths where flood water can be easily mitigated. Permeable footpaths. At the same time, the creation of the storage, underground surface reservoirs, something like that, maybe whenever the big ground is there, sometimes there in the ground below the earth they can create the storage tank, whatever the water, depending upon the gradient and runoff directions, water movement direction, definitely that water can be stored there with a preliminary treatment, maybe the water passing through the filters and all, that can be used for various purposes. That will become a storage point, because just recently last November I had been to Japan. They have the technology, permeable footpaths. At the same time, it is all interlinked. Now the technology is so advanced. They have artificial intelligence system. All signal processes. If this tank fills up, immediately all lakes are interlinked. Once the flood water comes, this lake is filled up. Immediately alarms come. This lake is full. Which is the other water? What is the storage of that water? Whether this water can be diverted to that, depending upon the hydrogeological conditions. Whether that can be moved to that level, something like that. They have got a very good technology. Why can't we adopt that technology? Like California, they have very good permeable footpaths. Already they are already following. In fact, I told signaling and all, basically rainwater harvesting and other things where the drilling of the borewells above 1,500 feet and all, it is already banned, specifically in our Maharashtra only. Under Jal Jeevan mission, some of the states have already adopted technologies, maintenance, water monitoring and storing of the water and all. They have under the Tata Research Foundation, they have taken a very good work. Why can't you bring those technologies? Because since I am a Jal Jeevan mission, one of the technical committee member, the technologies are there. Only thing is our government of Karnataka has to implement certain things. Only thing is our bureaucrats and the politicians, they should allow the technocrats to implement the technology. That's all. Only thing is the technology is available, implementation of that technology in an effective way, that is very, very important. Hope that in the days to come, the government will understand its faults and encourage the technocrats, see that a sustainable opportunities come out, and that finally we can expect the fruitful results. With this, I will pass it to Dr.
Thank you for emphasizing the use of wastewater and also bringing out the gaps in the technology dissemination and the problems associated with that. Now I request Dr. From Bhagirathi, the NGO, to talk about how successful he is in treating the wastewater. You know, that whatever we are talking through the science, develop the technology, other thing, final thing happens only with the implementation in the field. And we have many conventional treatment plants. There are gaps are there, as Professor Ramaraju said. Now, how he has addressed those gaps, and he has been successful. I have visited some of the wastewater treatment. I have also done auditing of the wastewater treatment. What he had monitoring and he had developed in Mysore. So we had given the report to the government. Probably I request sir to share your expertise on that.
In continuation to TVRAMACHANDRA sir, Prakash Kulkarni is a strong man in the subject because we worked together in the department. Because he is a strong man. Because we used to think because I was from the department at that time. He is also from the department side. Sometimes we used to feel when he used to tell about the technology, then we used to feel that why you are here? If you should be from the outside, that side. Because consultant they used to come, sir, we are going to do like this. Because he used to propose the technology. Actually, we used to think that should come from the consultants. Now, you take any department, everything, officer they will not work. Everything they will ask the consultants only. Hey, call the consultant and give this design, let them work out. Anything you take, they will give to the consultants. But he is a quite different person. Laterly, of course, he took the VRS and did the PhD, that too from National Law School of India. He is a doctorate in environmental science, that too from the law. That we have to appreciate, sir. We know you are a soulful person. Knowledgeable person, please. As already sir suggested.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks to Professor TVR. He has an excellent work. The data that he has produced. Thanks to the organizers for having invited me. Now, whatever they have said, I left the government. I worked with a lot of experts. The first thing they told me was, how is that in your country the best minds are in government? So I started doubting it. Second thing, the mistake government did was they sent me out of the country. Europe, Africa, Latin America. After I came back, I said I should not be here. I first T20, 84 I started, 2007 quit service. Then I said I will not do anything, whatever difficulty government has got in trying to address these challenges, we just implement them. So I have no data, but I have performance to claim. My experience with nature-based technology, the designs that we have done, is that the ecosystem, the nature, the technology that we say, if I say 4 aerators are required as per our design, with 2 only it does well. It is Biocon Lake, Hebukode. It takes 1 year for madam to accept that there is no space to build ST. First, the place where she sits, just behind her is Hebukode Lake. There is no space to build. A small Gram Panchayat became a CMC, City Municipal Council, 3 lakh population. There is no space and all bad news. What do? It takes 1 year for us to tell her that no matter what the law says, discharge standards, CPCB, KSPCB, there is no space. You have no money. It takes 3 crores per 1 MLD. There is 4-5 MLD of water coming. Can you prevent water in the drains leading to the lake before? There is no way. We have exactly laid the manuals in the same channels only. Another 1 year the committee takes. We have a professor from the institute and many people are there. We struggle with them, with the Japanese fellow. I said, we'll treat in the lake only. What is going to happen? I can't prevent sewage entry. Now there is toxic also coming there. There are some commercial establishments. So we said we'll treat it in the lake only. The aerators, what work they do in the conventional estate, we'll do it here also. No? We'll put some phytoremediation plants. They will remove nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, nutrients are there. We'll do some bioremediation. We'll try and improve water before it enters the lake. I should do in the drain itself. So our strategy was very simple. First funda, improve water quality in the wastewater. Don't discuss too many things. Why it is coming, it will come. That's all. It doesn't listen to anybody. They will leave wastewater in the drain. So you treat it, test the quality, BOD, COD, TSS, whatever. Then you give a comprehensive solution where you get 4 or 5. The biggest challenge we faced was there is no money also now. One is there is no space, there is no money. How to reduce money? Our treatment plants should not have cement and steel. First funda. None of our treatment plants have cement and steel. Number 2. None of our interventions have anything to do with girders who takes long time, nothing doing. We finish work in 48 hours, finish. We start working 48 hours. No order required. Government very difficult to get order. If you tell them give order means again 6 months gone. So I told them no order also required. No order required. If space is not there, is also okay. If you don't have money, the least cost will offer. So no steel and cement, we use STP liners. 1.5 mm. We completely comply with the norms of the government, whether issued by CPCB, Ministry of Environment, Forest. 1.5 mm STP liner is allowed to enable prevention of leachate getting into groundwater contamination. So we use that in the STP. The second thing we said, we'll use aerators, not Indian aerators. The aeration when you do, it should give out very, very fine micro bubbles, and that the unit of power consumption should be very less. For 1 unit of oxygen that I transfer, the power consumption should be less. That is the barometer. Number 3, they should not come for frequent operational problems. I can procure something easy, but maintenance have always been a problem. So we make sure operation costs are not many. Beautiful was another 2 interventions which we did, maybe first time in the country. One was use of bioframes. These are again don't involve power, fit and forget. The second one was the floating gardens. We tried initially with bamboo, we tried HDPE pipes. Finally we came up with a 1 feet by 1 feet float. Now when you show me any polluted water body anywhere, we'll give you garden now with flowers only, pakka. The only operational cost is involving removal of the plant when it dies. Extent of nitrogen phosphorus I will remove is based on how good the roots develop. The better the root development, better will be the nutrient and toxic material removal. Now, wetlands that we are speaking, we can certainly put wetlands, but it is a large area. If our contaminants are very high in terms of their organic load, then very difficult. We don't have space, no. So what we do is we do constructed wetlands, and we call it as artificial now. We use another word called artificial now. There are calculations available, and one of the work we did was Unkar Lake, biggest lake. It was second largest city, corporation Hubli Dharwad, 300-acre lake nearly. It was giving water supply to this city and completely polluted. It gets about 30 MLD. No bidder. First time they bid, no bidder. Second time also no bidder. Only we single bid again on a performance. What you need to do is put any work when you face crisis on a performance mode. Tell them you get paid only when you perform. Let them get those designs, whatever, vetted by concerned authorities. We have gone through all the cycle, TCE, PricewaterhouseCoopers, get the designs vetted, and on a performance 5-year window. We have finished now 3.5 years now. The sewage still continues to flow. Apart from that, there are industrial establishments, there are commercial establishments, garages are there. In my journey, what I found, the nature responds much better. Like a tablet given to human body, no? The doctor says, allopathic doctor, he will tell, take Dolo 650. Maybe half the time would have also worked. So I have always found this water body very complex. I think we have touched one of the most complex ecosystem on earth, which is lake, that too Bengaluru lake. Cascading lake, pollution, encroachment, very, very difficult. So I think the lake has responded in our experience last 5-8 years much better than what we have provided by way of empirical evidence. The designs that we do, even at half the tablet, they have still responded well. So my understanding is if we can innovate, if we can bring down the cost of treatment, but go on a performance. Otherwise, they're all, if you look at that, we did the city sanitation planning for the city, we did 804 square kilometers. We took 4 years to do it. Our operational efficiency of STP is no more than 35%. The way we have laid our pipelines, the way the sewage will continue to flow in Bushwavati, and I'll finish with only last word. Pushpavati Canal, Bairamangala, stages we are taking a look at it. All the tank filling is done by our office now. Most of the tank filling that happens in one of the offices we do. All the water of wastewater of Ben and theory says Arkavati and Vishwavati is the tributary to Arkavati. You go to Halasandra and see there is no Arkavati. I went 1.5 months back, there is no Arkavati. It's except for Ramnagara wastewater, there is no Arkavati. It is all Vishwavati 400 MLD which comes to Arkavati. Arkavati full of hyacinth, Bayasandra lake full of hyacinth, and in the Kalwe we are giving out this water, which is exactly wastewater. To whatever extent it has got itself self-purified is fine, but otherwise I think the same fishes are being grown there. Fishes cultivation is happening in Kankapura. I asked him, is the color black? How sir, how did you know that? I know everything you tell me, is the color black? He said, yes, the color black. I told him, no, even if oxygen levels are less, there are some fish varieties which thrive even at those low dissolved oxygen levels. Then I told him, where do you sell this? Then he said, why? I said, in our area, Uttar Karnataka, it all goes to Bombay. Locals don't eat that fish. They know the problem. But Bombay, no, it was there. I said, where does this go? I said, it doesn't go to Bangalore. He said, yes sir, how do you know? I said, so, wait. So we don't know from where it has come and we eat that fish, so I will stop there. So all the wastewater that was served, like he said, it's all vegetables grown, soils have been completely gone acidic. Kanakpura, they don't grow anything, land prices have gone off completely. So they only grow grass, which is for water. The same milk we drink. Other is coconut. Except these two, there is nothing. So I think we should look at this water as one water. It is rainwater, we call it as rain. When it falls down, it becomes surface water, open well. It joins the groundwater, it becomes groundwater. Then we use it. Then how many words are used in the recent guidelines? Treated, used water, tertiary treated, so many used water, then reclaimed water, so many waters are coming, but it is only one water. So my belief is there is just one water. Just see for what purpose it is being used, what is the intended purpose. If you can treat to that extent, give awareness. If it is safe water, then it has to be potable and safe. So no polyform, no health hazard, no filter required at home. Public supplies must be good. If it is for agriculture use, then why do you have to treat it to 5 BOD, 10 BOD? Not required at all. It is massively expensive. It's prohibitively expensive. We just can't afford that kind of money at all. So good thing is recently government has come up with guidelines now, where they are also accepting that the only resource that we have now, irrespective of what was the source of water for drinking and domestic use or industry use, this wastewater is pakka. That much water will flow. So can we use this water to make available for other users? And the last word, what Israel did. The Israel said that about 30-40 years ago when they took up this national project, they said that there is no scarcity of water. Where they get with less than 300 millimeter. They openly stated that there is no scarcity, it is just that the water is dirty. And what should we do? Clean it up. And this is a national project. The whole focus will now be to how do we clean this water so that we have good agricultural productivity, we have food, we can supply to the world, and also make ourselves water secure. I think water security, if we are able to do something like this, I think will be a great effort. As far as government is concerned, sir has rightly said, he has written about it, he has spoken about it very, very forcefully. And we should, and he's a true champion actually. We don't have champions. In crisis times, you don't need players, you need real champions who can take up the call. And what better than IISc, what better than professor? I think, one way if we can lend support as a group of people who can come out with innovative solutions, I think that's where we should be able to make that difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing out the wastewater, emphasis on wastewater treatment and reuse. One other thing is, Hooghly Dharwad didn't face much water crisis and they ensured 24/7 water supply. Because of that, wastage was curtailed. And second thing is the treatment of the wastewater and reuse. I think that is the model that has to be replicated throughout the country. If we do it, then I think we have solved the water problem. Now with this, I request Dr. Khan to deliberate on how we can make the NEP more effective and involve the conservation of the water bodies and critical resources in the NEP, so that he has worked in this sector for almost 5 decades. Probably we need to inform the government. The government of India has come up with the NEP. Now I want to integrate this other aspect, how we can do that. Probably his input will help in that regard.
Good evening and thank you, Sir TVR sir. As a teacher, during my training period, I was taught that education is a change in behavior in a desired manner. When it comes to education, we talk about, of course, all languages and subjects and things like that. But nowhere it is mentioned about environment. Nowhere it is mentioned as to give hands-on experience to the children. Nowhere it is, when we say that yes, these are the things which we need to do. But one important aspect what we have, what I found was that in the present day education system, as sir said, I am there for the past 45 years, we have got one very important aspect. There is a textbook, then with the textbook teaching is done, and then the children have to write a paper pencil test. Okay? There is nowhere where the main aim of education is to check whether learning has happened or not. But there is no way or no option available to check that learning. So normally what happens is, as a teacher I teach, and then I conduct a test, paper pencil test, give a grade, and designate the children, divide them into different groups. But where is the learning that has happened? It's not there. Even this I did not understand in the beginning, to be very frank with you. After my graduation, this was not there. Even I failed at that time. But one very important thing happened. I was born and brought up, I still live in Vartur. Vartur has got the second largest lake of Bangalore. And to acknowledge the pristine nature of the Vartur lake, the water was very clean. People used to, including me, we used to drink that water. People used to, the whole village women used to come every day to get their clothing washed in that water. And this went on. Everybody knows about it. Everything was very neat and clean. Lot of fish. Saturdays we used to go fishing, and evening meal used to be fish drawn from the lake. To acknowledge all this, I have one of my friends, Dr. Deepa Chennai, who is sitting here. At that time, her father was a bank manager, Canara Bank manager, and they were living, they were her neighbors. I was so happy to see her. Now then what happened was, later, as sir has been already telling, and in his talk he said, unplanned urbanization and abuse of land, which led to pollution, and Vartur lake got totally polluted. It came to us, as a shock when we saw that the whole fish in the lake got killed in one of the rains that happened in 82-83. That is when the children started complaining, sir, the fish all has died, and there is foul smell coming out from there, and the water lake, color of the water has changed. And that is when I thought that yes, I should go do something, take the samples, water samples, and test. We got it tested at St. Joseph's College lab, because I am a St. Josephite, my brother, my sister, we are Josephite. Same way we got it done in the Mount Carmel College lab. Then the result what we got were mind-boggling, and we didn't know what to do. Then sir came to our rescue. 85-86 we had done that study, but we didn't know what to do. We wrote it to BWSSB chairman. We went and met my school children. He was also shocked and said, yeah, really, is it happening? Where did you get it tested? Are these tests you ensure that quality of the test is done? Authentic? All these questions he said, and we forgot. Then I came to know about the Lake Symposium and Dr. TVRAMACHANDRA. That is when sir encouraged us to make children learn what exactly is happening. Like today I should say, it's the latest phenomenon. All banks ask you for KYC, know your customer. Sir taught me one thing, KYN, know your neighborhood. I tell this to my children, know your neighborhood. So that is how we have been very active. We involved the school children, and Vartur Lake is saved today because of TVRAMACHANDRA sir. As Sir Kulkarni sir said, he is a champion. There is no doubt about it. And with his help in knowing the neighborhood, we came to know as to the actual value of Vartur Lake. children understood the value of Vartur Lake. That is when we said, now we need to do something. So with the inputs, we established the Sahayatri Eco Club in our school, which is very active. We have done quite a lot of survey of Vartur, biomagnification of the pollutants, and then the economic value of the lake, then the economic condition of the people, farmers who depend on the lake, and how it has affected the water levels in the borewells surrounding the lake. Like Kulkarni said, sir, Ramraj sir was saying, what kind of water is brought by the tanker, nobody knows. Our lake bed, almost about half a kilometer of that, in our survey we found when we did mapping, that each farmer had 5-6 borewells in the half acre of land, and then supplied water to all the apartments in the neighborhood. What is the quality of the water? Nobody has tested. Now we did all that survey, how water got contaminated, what are the ways in which people are suffering, how enteric fever, typhoid, and then kidney failure, as sir rightly said, and so many other problems. With that we decided, as a teacher, I decided, and I, in fact, sir was very instrumental in inducing the environment conservation and protection to my teachers and to my students and to many of our parents also. So what we did was, we adopted two important lakes. One is the Vartur Lake, which is getting regenerated now. Government has spent almost about 250 crores, I think, sir, by now. Yeah, and it has become pristine again. It's going to be a pristine lake again. And we adopted two lakes which are in our neighborhood. One was the Gaurama Lake and the other was the Mavinkere Lake. With the help of my students and then Rotary Club and also TCS company, the software company, with those volunteers, we could plant somewhere about 13,000 saplings in those two lakes, and we saved those lakes from encroachment. Now we have adopted another lake, the Chiknekundi Lake. We have planted almost about 700 saplings by now. Day before yesterday also 25 saplings we planted there. And government, that lake falls in the rural, Bangalore rural, and Neriga Village Panchayat, that's called as village. I wrote to the Neriga Village Panchayat to give us permission to use a part of the lake to develop it as a butterfly park. So with the help of TVR sir and his group, we have identified some plants, trees. We have planted them there, the host plants, and the Neriga Panchayat has given us 10,000 square feet of land for the development. So this is how we have taken the initiatives. And children, our school, we have 5 acres of land, a little less than 5 acres of land. 550 trees we have belonging to 21 species. 29 to 30 species of spiders live in our campus. 8 to 10 species of birds. 4 species they nest in our compound. And 6 to 7 species of animals, including our butterflies and squirrels and barbets and cowbills and coils. They all nest in our premises. And one feather in our cap is that because of those trees, we don't allow even a single drop of water to flow out of our school compound. We have a groundwater recharge pond. All the groundwater gets collected there. And the advantage is that our neighbors have gone up to 1,600 feet to dig the bore wells. They have got 500 gallons of water per hour. You will be shocked. Our bore well, the total depth is 480 feet. Our pump is at 450 feet. I get 2,000 gallons of water per hour throughout the year. Absolutely, when people were talking about crisis, water crisis in Bangalore, many of our parents, they started, asking us, what is that which you have done? Even our neighbors started asking. The most prestigious, prestige lakeside habitat is just behind our school, and they also, one of their representatives came and asked, sir, I am told that your borewell is full of water every day, throughout the year. What is that which you have done? 3 days back. 3 days back he had come. Then I told him, this is what we have done. So that is how we have been, as a teacher, I have taken up the responsibility to do it. And if every one of us in the teaching community and everyone as a citizen, if we can start up thinking, doing a little, we can do it. I would conclude by saying three things that we have been doing continuously. On World Environment Day, Sahyadri Eco Club, just 2 days back. Last week we announced to the children to make seed balls. We taught them how to make seed balls using the native species of trees. So jamun and then jackfruit and then mango. This is mango season. So we taught the children how to do it, and we had a competition day before yesterday to bring two types of competition. One is who will make the most number of balls, seed balls, he will be given a certification. And those who make seed balls with a variety of seeds, that also will be accounted. Can you believe? 59 students participated. We got 1,800 seed balls. 59 students, 1,800 seed balls. Every year during Ganesha festival, we have Green Ganesha competition in our school. Children bring the mud, make small Ganapatis, okay? Absolutely, they decorate with watercolors or leaves, different colored leaves which are available in the school, different types of flowers that are available in school. Using those petals, they decorate, and 10 to 15% of the same Ganapati's parents take it home for the puja. And I was very afraid to do it on the first year. I came and told TVR, sir, I have this idea in my mind because Vartu Lake is also getting polluted, painted Ganeshas. What should I do? He said, no, have a competition. He gave the idea. I said, sir, I am a Muslim. M.A. Khan is my name. If I have a competition and tell people not to use painted Ganeshas, and if I have a competition in school, how will it go? So I said, no, don't worry. Let anybody talk anything. You go ahead. So that, that pat on my back gave me energy to do it. I'm sure every year, last year, more than 120 students, parents came to school to got the same Ganapatis for puja. And all the people who are selling Ganapatis, they did not know about Ganeshas without paint. Now, organic Ganeshas they are bringing, they're selling it in Vartur. And this is how we have been able to, bring a change. Then Diwali time, we create awareness to the children how cracker factories are taking away the educational part of the children from their lives, because majority of the children are involved in cracker manufacturing. So we highlighted this last year. More than 170 students of our school did not buy crackers at all. Some of them who bought, they said, sir, we have burnt only little, the rest we have kept it as it is, which will get spoiled next year, we will not use it. Now that is how we have been able to bring a change, and that is how we have been able to do a very little service in environment conservation and lake conservation. Probably if every one of us, we take that initiative, we can definitely make a change. Sir always says, together we can make a difference. Yes, we can make a difference together. Thank you.
And I'm sure you all are convinced this panel has given the solution. If it is replicated in other cities, we have sustainable solutions and we can ensure water for everyone in the country. Okay, we are trying to see that this message reaches the destination. That means our rulers. Sometimes it is difficult to convince them, because sometimes our solution, nature-based solution, what Dr. Kulkarni talked about it, is low-cost technology, not very expensive. So the bureaucrats and the government, the decision maker may not like to have a low-cost technology. They brand it other way, but when they see the success, then they will think about it. The Jakkur Lake is working for almost 10 plus years, the success model. And whenever we talk about it, international experts come and study this. The model what we developed in our country with a few species of plant, what we put it there, today is the model. So that is what we need to do. I think that India has a talent. Only other thing is we do not know how to communicate it and communicate it aggressively so that we can make this happen everywhere. Now I will take up some of the questions. If there are any questions, it would be yes, sir.
I don't know whether it is happening in Jakkur. Lot of individual houses are there which don't use STP water. Why not another pipe for STP from BWSSP of the treated water? That will solve majority of the problem, because than drinking, people consume water in STP. So that STP water in apartments are available. So why not use the same for individual houses? Maybe a small project across Jakur Lake can demonstrate to BWSSB as well.
Yeah, I will, I've been talking to BWSSB. For example, even the apartment, we had a problem. The apartment near Vattur and Belandur, though they claim that they are treating, and I used to see the sewage entering the lake. Once we wanted to quantify how much sewage come to the lake, then I just requested Mr. Khan. One of the teachers goes there as a grass cutter. The children go with a basket to give a feeling. And they quantified and they told me what is the kind of the sewage gets in about it. 1 MLD sewage was getting in from the 17 locations. Then I told her, because of my report to the NGD said they cannot dispose the sewage into the lake, they have to have the treatment. Then all those apartment president and all, they landed with me saying that because of your report it has come to this, now we need I said, now take this as the initiative, entrepreneurship can come there. Put a pipe so that if you are unable to treat in your complex, let us put it in one place and treat it so that it will give a job to 5 environmental engineering graduates, and then we will do it. They say, oh, wonderful idea, we'll do it. None of them did it. Then in the meanwhile, we are talking to the BWSSB and see that 117 villages which are included into Greater Bangalore, they are going to have the UG, and some places they have put it now. And for information, because of our consistent pushing and criticism, Bangalore is better compared to other cities as far as the wastewater treatment is concerned. You can look at any other city. In fact, they also keep telling, when we sit in the committee, they tell us, because of IISc, Bangalore is better. Why IISc? Because we criticize them. And of course, we give the solution also. That is what is the thing. It will happen. That is where some kind of mapping is required to find out what is the quantity of the waste comes and what kind of the treatment plant has to be there. And maybe that routing of that can be done, because already there are water treatment is there in Jakur. Augmentation is happening. Probably if you can give that region how many houses are there and the thing, then that can be routed to that existing treatment plant only, which is easier, because you are in the close vicinity there. That can be done. That's not a difficult task.
Very shortly, 1 minute. At this point, whatever the 110 villages, what the professor already put, plus 7 municipality corporations, that work order has been already given recently. I think last 3-4 months back it is already implemented. Only thing is now they have to implement some of the BDA layouts, which is a part of this 110 villages only they have occupied, and they have distributed the site where the under drainage system are just now they are providing. Because I am the example where they have allotted some sites in Anjanapura layouts and all. Now they are doing the work, but the government is at it with what I can tell. As already sir suggested, one thing with to that, Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board is taking utmost care with all the technology they have brought in, the former chief engineers and all. We have to appreciate them. They have brought so many technologies. Only our worry is effective implementation of the technology is very, very important. But the work is going on. As you know, the civil engineering works, it will take its own time.
Thank you. Yeah, any other questions?
All the persons are really concerned about the environment. My name is Srinivas. Basically, my background is earth science. So I've been reading a lot of your articles, and we've been really fascinated by the work which you as well as others, all commoners, doing this work, sir. There are 3 things which I just want to ask, sir. This drinking water for Bangalore, are we not over dependent on Kaveri, sir? Kaveri water is the one, see, first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage. How long it can go on, sir? That is one thing. And
Can I answer this so that again?
Okay.
Sir, only the thing
There
is.
are 2 more questions.
Okay. Yeah, I will again come back to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Only the thing is, I deliberated that you are late. Only
Yeah.
you entered the room
I got stuck in
10 or
the-
15 minutes back.
Okay.
Actually, I talked about it.
I got stuck in
No,
the-
no, it is okay. I understand, because Bangalore is such a city, unlivable. I said you can't even travel also. So that is true. Also, you demonstrated that or supplemented what I said earlier.
Right.
Now coming to your question, getting a water from 125 kilometers from Kaveri to Bangalore is unrealistic. We should not do. Now, what I told in Bangalore, I said that look at the rainfall in Bangalore. 120 years rainfall data is available in our country. When you quantify that, taking the variability into account, we have 15 TMC of rainwater in Bangalore. 18 TMC is our demand. 70% of the water required for us is already available in the form of rain. Best option, rooftop harvesting. People like you should create a model and bring people like me to show that the model is being done, so that you will have water for 6 to 7 months without BWSSB. I have a colleague Shiv Kumar, his house, he has no water connection. He has rainwater harvesting in a plot of 40 by 60. And Ali Rani, the one of the teachers. And the second thing is wastewater treatment. See, if you are using 18 TMC of water, you are generating 18 TMC of wastewater. If we treat it, the model is already working in Jakkur, with the constrictor wetland and algal pond. And the technique what Dr. Kulkarni talked about it, if we integrate it, we will get 16 TMC of treated water. 15 plus TMC because of rainwater, 16 TMC because of wastewater treatment. We have 31 TMC. This is a surplus situation. This is what I had told government of Karnataka. But what Karnataka government wants, make a Datu project. I noticed what is, see, if you said you are reading my article, make a Datu project would submerge 5,000 hectares of forest. What is the hydrological surveys that forest is doing? You missed my presentation. The video will put it online soon. You can see that. That stores 100 TMC of water when it rains. What these people are doing in Mekedatu project, by spending 2,000 crore, they are building a dam to store 65 TMC. I said, why are you killing a forest which is doing 100 TMC to store 65 TMC? I said that, do you want to siphon off 20 billion rupees? Then I said that, if you look at the forest, the kind of ecosystem services it does, I did the quantification, natural capital accounting and valuation ecosystem services, and I showed that it is 100 billion rupees. I said, why are you looting the, I said that, my article says that, why are you spending 20 billion rupees in the name of Mekedatu project to convince Bangalorean to provide a drinking water, but your agenda is to loot 100 billion rupees of forest goods. Sir, any one of you have written like this? And in spite of that, I am sitting here and in Bangalore. Okay, therefore yesterday I was in Vidhansoda also.
Second thing is, as you are telling, sir, along all metro stations, I have been observing, they have just let the water outside, and there will be a lot of flooding on the well asphalted roads. Because especially I travel from Malleshwaram Circle towards Shankarmatta and other areas, and also I have noticed all that wastewater is just going waste on the road, and well asphalted roads are all actually it is creating a lot of problems.
No, you are right. Yesterday we deliberated. We had from IISc we had given the suggestion what is to be done. Shiv Kumar was involved in that. He has given, but unfortunately Metro didn't implement it. Sometimes change in the head of the organization helps us. Sometimes a rogue fellow comes, sometimes good fellows come. We are waiting for that turnover to happen. Then when it happens, you will see that rainwater harvesting happening in that region. I hope to see that soon.
The third thing is, since I am from Bangalore University, I think all of you people might have known about Professor Renuka Prasad, and he has demonstrated what has happened. On the one side, you can see, if you go towards Mysore, on the left side you have this Virishabhavati, on the right side we have this Nagarbhavi, the place where we all generally go for Bangalore University. But the change which has happened is really so fascinating that when we were there, we never used to see peacocks. But now we see peacocks and all other creatures. And not only that, the NSS groups and many other, it is now called Biopark. So Professor Renuka Prasad needs all the help from all you students to support that area, to preserve that at least as a green belt area. And there are a lot of political intrusions, interferences, that they want to make the whole thing as an educational institution with all other letting, subletting and leasing, which the money part of it, as you have been telling, sir, they just look at the money part of it and they getting all the money, but money cannot bring back all the nourishing
actually, to what you mentioned, Renuka Prasad is a part of our system only. You know, Adamya Chaitanya does the Green Sundays. You know, Elaborati is also involved in that. The couple of Sundays we have done the planting in the campus. See, my problem or our problem with the Bangalore University is we have faculty members with a spinal cord. You know, there are the encroachments are happening. Hardly the faculty takes up this issue.
That's what he also keeps.
No. But I want the other people to understand this and to come up with a solution. See, that is where, when we are part of the system, we are all stakeholders. We need to make sure that our system is foolproof, and probably the many more youngsters in the university should take up this issue. More than the faculty, I think the student should take up the thing. Because of that intrusions, no, we have the other social problem in the campus. We can curtail it. You know, simple thing is to have the natural boundary along the campus so that intrusion can be knocked down. We know that what species can be planted. If they do that, it becomes a natural fence. For a period of time, it becomes a good forest also in the region. But anyway, what he has done, with the help of many individuals, I congratulate him and his team for that. Thank you very much.
Only one last thing, sir. The present day students, they seem to mean, most of the children, they are very fascinated about pollution. But whenever they see Malleshwaram Circle, for that example, there is a huge pollution controlling machine. And all along the streets, they are now installing those machines. But I tell them, the children start appreciating that machine instead of a tree. So, where we have come, I just do not know, sir.
Sir, this criticizing youngster was there when I was also kid, and I was also criticized for that. But with acquiring knowledge, you know, that is where academicians like us have a role to play. We have to bring knowledge. You know, once we communicate, then probably they become more responsible and sensible than all of us put together. So we need to put that. Now you know the gap. How to bring the knowledge in the system. Probably people like you should write an article, and they all use the, you know, some instrument called mobile, you should communicate to them through that. Then I am sure they will do wonders in the world, okay?
Let me add one thing. You know, sir was talking about involving the youth and the students of the university. I too did my post-graduation from there. I would like to narrate one incident that happened just 2 days back. So we had this environment awareness program for class 1 to 4 in the morning session. So 2 students who were supposed to be, you know, delivering the oath so that the others will repeat, both of them, they went for tree plantation. So the teacher came and told me, sir, those 2 have already gone with tree plantation, they didn't inform me also. Now there is no one to recite a note for them to take what shall we do. I said, don't worry, I am there. I went there, I just told them 2 things. Small children, class 1 to 4. I said, see, today, World Environment Day, we have to protect environment, Mother Nature, we have only one earth. So I want you to do 2 things. Will you do it? Small kids say, yes, sir. I said, first thing, don't pluck leaves of the trees. Don't break a branch. That is what those children do. Promise me today that from today you will not do it. Yes, sir. And I said, you eat chocolates, you eat biscuits, you eat kurkure? Yes, sir. What do you do with that? We throw it. Straight answer. Kids know. Others will manipulate. The kids will not manipulate. Throw it. I said, see, that will pollute. So every time you eat chocolate, on a birthday when your friend gives you class, put it in the dustbin. If you don't find a dustbin, what will you do? I'll hold it in my hand. I said, very good. Then search for a dustbin. Even then, if you don't get a dustbin, what would you do? They didn't know the answer. I said, put it in your pocket. And wherever you see a dustbin, you put it there. I said, okay, fine, 2 things, that's all, nothing else.
Okay.
Lunch break, one small boy from 2nd standard, he comes to me and says, sir, there is no dustbin in my class. I said, why, what happened? It was all full. I say, why? All our friends had put papers and chocolate covers and all that. So, okay, don't worry, I will send the Aya, she will pick it up and she will empty the. Now, what shall I do, sir? I said, about what? He's showing his pocket. All his friends' chocolate covers, no, he has put it in his pocket. And he has come to me. Now, what shall I do? Then I took my dustbin in my next to my table. I said, very good, put it here. And you should do it at home also. So he said, yes sir, I will do it. That is how we can. Yes sir.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, we have been talking about rainwater harvesting as a solution for perhaps 2 decades now. But yak agtala, what is the reason why there is no uptake of rainwater harvesting?
Have
Because
you done it? Sir, have you done it?
yes, of course.
Okay, then more people like you should come and this is.
But yak it's quite simple. There's it's not complicated science, right? Rainwater harvesting is very simple. You don't need an expert.
Actually, one is, no, I also used to think like that, but I have come across many people are doing in their own way. They have improved. Because the other day one person from, elderly person from Yelanka walked into my office. He said, sir, I have a recharge pit, but my problem is that water that is getting in through the recharge pit is also contaminating it. Well, how to? Then I said, solution is simple. We have the purifying that thing. You would just couple that system, and I gave Shivkumar's this one. See, sometimes lack of knowledge or inadequate knowledge make the people get frightened with this kind of the thing. You know, today the mothers are so hypersensitive. The moment they see the water in the tap, they say, let me get AquaGuard and all those things. I always tell them, I have tested the water quality of the tap water. I said, it is reasonably good. There are no contaminants, except that sometimes you may get pathogen. You just boil water and have it. But instead of that, they say, no, our children have to be safe. We will get a bottled water. I said, RO water. I said, every liter, you are wasting 3 to 4 liters. Is it worth it? They said, you fellow don't understand and you have no concern for the children. He said. Then after 1 year, she came and told me, sir, what you predicted, now we are facing the problem. I said, what happened? He said, all elders in home, their legs have become fragile, they cannot walk, and they have become hypertension and all those things. Then when we met doctor, they said, you have lost all the minerals in the thing, essential mineral. That's where there is a complicated thing. See, that is a very hard way of learning the thing. Had they learnt it in a simple way, probably they would have implemented much earlier. Coming back to your thing, one is to make it more popular. There should be some incentive. The government should do that. Second thing is, there has to be a policy of the government saying it is a mandatory. That is there, but it is not implemented. See, we have policy, but not implemented. That's what Professor Ramaraju also was highlighting in his presentation. See, that implementation, what is the gap? One of the suggestions, what I have told the government, the PWSSB, other thing, don't give the water connection till when I construct a house. If I don't show the water sum for the rainwater and the system for that, don't give me the water. He said, sir, can I implement it? I said, you should do it if you want to see changes happening in the system. So it will happen. First is talk to the people in a nice way and write in a simple way. When they don't do it, then through the policy we will see that it happens.
On heavy metals in vegetables of Bangalore, across the Bangalore market. I just want to know how does the heavy metals enter into the vegetable scenario unless the PWSSB what they treat is not treated for heavy metals but only for certain BOD, COD, etc. What is the source of these heavy metals and how high is it, how toxic, are there any remedial measures taken for this? So what is the whole approach to the heavy metals?
Sir,
I am from Dr. Iyengar from DRC, ex-DRC, Bombay. Yeah.
okay, sir. Sir, actually, I deliberated that in my presentation. I showed, the water, we are polluting the lake. We are polluting the lake by discharging the untreated, the sewage into the lake directly. Not only untreated sewage, even the industrial effluent. Industrial effluent is the source of heavy metal. We did the analysis in the surrounding area of Vattur and Biddi. The vegetable that is grown, your pudina, spinach, radish, etc. and fish in the lake, all of them have a heavy metal. And you were not there during my presentation. I also gave the statistics. The kidney failure, which was 1 in 1 lakh about 12 years back, today it's in 1 in 5,000. Okay? And second thing, what is happening is the water, wastewater, what we are generating in the city, it is partially now treated and sent to the neighboring districts like Chikballapur, Kolar, etc., where the vegetable is grown. Bangalore market vegetable come from those regions. We have partially treated the wastewater And heavy metal is still there in the thing. We are, and that water is used by the farmers. When some youth approached me, I gave a report on the heavy metal. It went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court stopped it. Okay. Then what happened? I found that Speaker of the Karnataka Assembly was behind that project because his son-in-law is a pipe fellow who was involved in the pipe business and providing the thing. And that 2 weeks was terrible for me. You know, in assembly, 2 days there was a discussion on me, my integrity. Okay, at that time, you know, letter came to the IISc, all those things happened. You know, I was physically abused in the field also when I went for the field visit. All those things has happened. The same man, during the election, he said, I will ensure that water is treated and no heavy metal come to the thing. Please vote me. But this time he lost it. You know, because of my talking to the local people and some writing in local press has made the people decided to this one. And also one of the local youth who started talking like me in that based on my article. He got elected from Chikballapur as the defeating that local MLA. Of course, he has not done much, but the chief minister who was assured we are behind the chief minister to see that changes will happen. Sir, unless all of us raise voice, things won't change. See, I'll tell you the problem with academician. When I say heavy metal is there, another lab giving exactly opposite, saying that no heavy metal. Are they all what to remove the heavy metal in this one? You know, that is that. You know, integrity of scientists is very important. You know, that is a major role. You know, if I don't have integrity, I should not get into the science and do science in India or any country. That policy we need to have. See, when somebody says, then immediately the government always look for such scientists. They will give a project of 2 to 4 crores and they get a favorable report, and that report is showcased on me saying that TVR has given the wrong report. In fact, in one of the court, when they asked me, you know, they said that there is a report saying that contrary to your report, what should? I said, sir, when money is given, you get that report. When money is not given, when people work for society, you will get the report which is true to the nature. That is what is
so this, actually this whole policy of filling the treated waters into disused lakes or old tanks, etc., is irreversibly damaging this one, because what has been pristine earlier, you are polluting with very highly, you know, long-lasting pollutants and toxic materials.
Sir, you are right. You know, for example,
How irrational is it, and how do we stop that?
No, I'll tell you the thing. The problem is with all of us. You know, for example, Professor Muniappa is from Chikballapur. In his village, the lake, the fish death happened. Muniappa casually told me, TVR, there is a fish death, can you go and tell me what is the problem, I will sort it out. Then myself, my team, we visited. You know, believe it or not, on that day, not even partially treated, untreated sewage was coming into the lake and they are pumping it. And I thought that, okay, maybe one day mishap has happened. Then one of the Gram Panchayat president said, sir, can you visit my house? He took me to his house and he showed me, sir, I have a bore well, I have a sump. Earlier when I constructed house, I was getting municipal water and also I was pumping borewell water directly putting it in the sump. Then one day what happened for a 6 months, there was some smell was coming. We were still using, but when all of us started getting a health issue, then when we tested, we found that the water which is coming in a borewell has a problem. Then he stopped it. Okay, a mixing of that water and this one. When I visited that house, he pumped that water and showed me. Black water was coming, stinky. And for about half an hour it came. Then after that, yellow color water came. Then I told him, now earlier black water is that Bangalore water. Now yellow water is that local water is coming. After half an hour, if you allow, black water, Bangalore water will come. Then he said, sir, why don't you wait for another half an hour? As I said, after another 20 minutes, again the black water came. And none of these local politicians were willing to accept this. So then I told him, you are a panchayat member, why don't you handle this, I said. See, that is where in each of the village, there is one professor has taken birth in the village in India. If all of us wake up and do little bit justice to our village, we have solved the problem, sir. That is what is required. And that's what all of us have to do it. One Ramachandra cannot take up the issue. Everyone, or Ram Raju or Kulkarni cannot do this. See, we can bring awareness, but only the thing is the local expertise also have to raise the voice. If all of us join hands, we can change the country.
Sir, 1 minute. 1 minute, please. In continuation to Dr. TVRAMACHANDRA's words, Professor, sir, with due respect, I have a small clarification here. Whatever you told that the vegetables and all, they are contaminated with heavy metals and all, this may be due to number one, because in the surrounding areas, suburban areas, peri-urban areas where the people are going to grow the commercial crops. That is the commercial crops where they will use a lot of fertilizers and chemical pesticides and all, they will use it because they would want the good yield with the limited time and all. They would like to immediately sell and earn the money. That is what the major motto is. Number one, this may be the reason. At the same time, as per the groundwater and this filling the tanks is considered, it is a secondary treated water which they are going to fill the tanks. Number one. At the same time, when this water is filled in the tanks, definitely groundwater recharge, the dilution effect, they will get the good water only. Only thing is here, when they are growing the commercial, this is happening only in surrounding areas where they are growing the commercial crops and they are using a lot of fertilizers. That is why this thing is specifically using the commercial crops, growing the commercial crops, using lot of chemicals and pesticides. That is the major reason where we are facing the contamination, heavy metals and all. That is where exactly the analysis is. That is what exactly I predict, and I know certain things in that sector. Because here, when the water is treated, secondary water is treated, you know, whatever the wastewater is there, or the basically the more NPK values, nitrogen, potassium values, and whatever the other materials are there. With all as per the drinking water quality, we use the water and leave it out. Once that reaches the Nalla or finally joins the sewage treatment plant, again the government they are treating it, effective treatment, that is also important, because this is another loophole where you have to effective implementation of the rules and regulations or effective treatment, that also is very important, because simply telling the cess what is treated, yes, I agree. Even though at one junction I told that government using almost treating 850 ml of water, using it effectively. How effectively they are treating? Because it is sometimes it is questionable. How effectively the people are using? Why the people are not using? Because government does so many things. How the things are happening on the ground reality, it is again we have to understand our responsibility, roles and responsibilities, and we have to work effectively. Then only the things will take shape. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, actually, to add to what he said, let me share with the earlier thing. 2015, Government of Karnataka sent me the project proposal asking me for my opinion on that. At that time, I said that secondary treated water sending it to Kolar and Chikbalapur is not correct. You should have tertiary treatment or at least nature-based solution. What we have done at Jakkur Lake. Can you replicate that in each of the lake where before you fill into the lake, allow that to pass through the constructed wetland and all. But what happened was when they implemented, they forgot this nature-based thing. They sent the water through the closed conduit and let it directly into the lake. That is the thing. Second thing is, I have tested the borewell water in the immediate vicinity of 100 meter. All those well water have nitrate as well as the heavy metal. That soil layer acting as a membrane, there it was not happening. We didn't see that. This is one of the things we need to keep in mind and keep that the mechanism in the mind before we get into the thing. And third thing, as he rightly pointed out, we have also seen farmers have become ruthless, like Bangaloreans. For example, when they grow some of the the watermelon, they inject the color, the chemical, to get this one. Naturally, when a scientist like me collect that sample and analyze, I say there is a heavy metal. These are the things. That is where.
What is it? The entire rationale is bad. So we have to throw some light on this and advise the government to stop this kind of putting the treated discharge water.
Sir, I will tell you, it is more than the government. We people matter. Then only the government is. For example, the work what we did in Jakkur Lake today is a success model for 10 years. When we did the experiment in the 2005 Jakkur Lake surrounding, there are 25 wells were there. All of them had nitrate, which is a carcinogen. We pushed the government to rejuvenate the lake. Then we integrated a nature-based solution along with a conventional secondary treatment plant, Then when we did that, it became a tertiary treated water, it started giving. Today, surrounding Jakku Lake, there are 300 wells. None of them have nitrate. At least I feel that, okay, this technology is working. This is the model to be, and that model is successful because of the local people. The active participation, they feel for this one. Somebody is taking part and rejuvenating the lake. Other person is contaminating, is not happening there. If somebody contaminates, she will go and shout at them and see that it doesn't happen. That is where all of us have to, together we can do the changes in the system.
Why I say this, after my retirement I took some interest in heavy metals, particularly arsenic and chromium, etc. I developed a technology to remove the arsenic from drinking water, and I had a good success. I gave the technology to Eureka folks, and I had developed arsenic purifier, etc., etc. But arsenic is not the problem. I see chromium and many other lead and so many other things which are really, messing up this environment. And I thought some light and some guidance from your side.
No, actually yours is the post. After having, you are looking at the solution. My approach is, don't allow that to happen. That is the thing. That's where we work towards the thing, okay? Even if industry is doing it, I ask the pollution control board, why you allow them to dispose the wastewater? They all give in the writing commitment to the pollution control board saying that they are treating. In the midnight, the truck carrying the water goes around the city, releasing that effluent thing. Once when we tracked it, here HSP are layout next to that chief secretary and all those fellows stay there. In that drain, they were discharging in the midnight at 2 o'clock.
It's lateral distribution on the road.
Finally it gets into the lake. When it gets into the lake, you get into the groundwater. That's what is happening. Anyway, it can be solved. It is not that when we start deliberating, we also think about the solution. The next thing is we need to see how to curtail these things, okay?
Thank you very much.
Deliberation, and I am sure if this message is taken forward and replicated in all the cities, we will have sustainable city. At least the water sector we would have succeeded, and this message has to reach. I think IEEE be a very effective forum. Probably you should come up with a good write-up, synthesizing this, and circulate among all the chapters across the country and the globe, so that they can replicate these ideas and see that thing happen. It is not, IEEE is not just deliberation, but also implementation also comes. That is where, toward the humanity, the society benefit, we need to do that. Okay? So thank you very much for giving us an opportunity. And I thank all the panelists, my colleagues here, Dr. Kulkarni, Professor Ramaraju, Dr. Khan, and Dr. Annapurna Kamath, for sharing their thoughts about how to manage the region so that we can give a better Bangalore and better region for our children. We need to do that. Once you are concerned about your children, you will not pollute the system. Only the irresponsible people do the pollution, but otherwise I have seen by and large, when people are worried about their children, they know that if they do the mistake today, then tomorrow their children also will face the same problem as others. Okay, with this one I hope, thank you for celebrating the World Environment Day, and I have